Okay, got some more progress here to show you. Anyway, what I did was I went ahead and to the front chest piece, I attached the clips and strapping. And as you can see, along the edge here, I actually cut a slit in the foam, pushed the nylon strap up through it, and then what I did right here, I Gorilla Glued and Gorilla Taped the folded over strap. And I'll come back to that here in just a moment. I did that on both sides of the armor on the inside as well as on the back piece. Now also on the back piece you can see these other straps I've attached. Now these I did not cut through the side because these are going to be highly visible, so what will happen is they'll actually just let me see if I can show you there. These will just disappear against the clothing that I'm going to be wearing. And then these straps right here are to go over the shoulders. These clips right here are actually going to buckle up under the armpits. Now, what I am going to do is I'm running this, when I run this strap, I do have to attach the clips to it, and I plan on clipping that up under the shoulders, and I'll show you all that at a later time once I get the distances worked out properly. But I think this is going to work out pretty good. Now, as far as getting these nylon clips attached, as you can see there, you do have to have a little loop on them. So what I ended up doing is you take your, I don't have one handy. Yeah, I do. Hang on a second. There we go. So anyway, you take your nylon strap and you run it through your clip like you normally would. And give me just a second here, and I'll work that out for you. There you go. Not too bad. Okay. Now, if you remember that hot knife that I showed you, like one of the earliest episodes of this, and I said it's going back in the drawer, this is when you want to pull the sucker back out. Because what you can do is you can let this hot knife get very, very, very hot, and then actually run it along the nylon strap that you have here. Run it on both sides. Actually, it kind of helps if while you're doing it, you pinch the nylon strap closed like that, and then run the knife through it, and then just pinch the nylon together as the knife is withdrawn. Now, what that will do is that'll melt the nylon when it's melted together. It'll end up giving you a very strong joint, hotter, actually better, stronger than a hot glue gun will. Hot glue will. I don't know about stronger than the Gorilla Glue will, but definitely better than the hot glue. I like it. It's a good technique. The only thing is you have to be careful because it's not hard to burn your thumb when you're doing this. So if you do use that technique, please do take care. But anyway, that's how that works. It's pretty simple. And as far as cutting the straps themselves, you can just use plain scissors. But if you get that fuzz on the end, like you see there, definitely trim that off. And ideally, again, use the hot knife there to just seal those edges. So that's how that works. Now, other thing I'm working on right now while I'm waiting for some paint to dry is the codpiece. And this was my original codpiece right here. And as you can see, well, let's see, this piece right here, this bit right here has a lot of tool marks on it. And I'm not really worried about that. And it's going to end up being actually hidden under this nylon strap, just like that. But the other thing to do, well, I was worried about was the insert right here. And again, a lot of tool marks, and the paint just will not cover that up. And it's just too tight in there to get the power sander in, and I don't have a decent, I'd rather not, worry about the sanding attachment for my for the Dremel. So what I'm planning to do here is I cut a new template, and here it is. And I'll hold that on the screen for a moment. And this is the part that I cut out of the middle right here. And that part I cut out of the middle is going to be this part. And the two pieces I ended up with are these right here. And again, take your time when you're cutting this out because obviously you want it to look good. Now again, what's going to happen is the nylon strapping that's going to hold your legs in place is actually going to run up and run across right here. So I'm not too worried about sanding this perfectly smooth. I just want it recessed, and I want it set up nice enough that the excuse me, thick enough that the nylon isn't, the foam isn't going to break when I belt it into place. Now I did save this piece right here, and this piece is going to be cut and shaped into these three pieces right here. And as you saw, I had a perfect fit with it. I'm going to bevel the edges on the raised bit, on the textured bit, but it's going to slide into place. Now, how am I going to hold that in place? Very easy. Some of that craft foam I showed you, just a black piece, and this doesn't have to be perfect, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this outer piece on it, and then the pieces I cut out of this piece, I'm just going to place in this piece. Now, what I'll do is when I cut these side pieces right here, instead of sanding them down, what I'll do is I'll just use the back side. Slick, huh? So anyway, just to show you, this doesn't have to be exact on the back here. As you can see, I just cut it roughly, and it's going to sit there just like that. And this is actually going to work pretty good. I've used this technique before, so I know everything will hold in place. You just have to be very sparing with the glue so you don't get any squeeze out. Now, the only bad thing about this is the thin craft foam. I forget how thick it is, but if you can get the thicker craft foam, then that would do you good. What I'm probably going to end up doing here is just double layering this stuff. It'll give me a stronger backing. Now, the only other thing that I did was I went to the hardware store, just kind of poking around looking for stuff, and I found this. And this is an ABS floor drain. You can find this in the plumbing department. And it actually, the original piece is about this thick. And as you can see, this has got a different pattern on it than that one does. But I was looking for something that's going to actually be the leg pieces. It sits on the hip. And when I found this, I was like, that looks interesting. So brought this piece home and I experimented on it a little bit. The experiment did not go quite as well as I planned, but I figured a couple of things out. And instead of trying to modify a Breath Savers tin lid or something like that, or find something laying around the house, I'm actually going to go with these. And when I found these, I actually like the pattern better. So if I set those on my hip, I'm just going to cut the sides of these down with a cutting attachment on the Dremel tool, and then do some sanding to clean it up. And then I think that should work very, very well. It's actually a lot stronger than anything else that I can come up with here at home. So I think that's going to be a good plan. One of the things you have to think about when you're doing this type of thing is, one, you got to kind of think strategically. You got to think 2 or 3 moves ahead. Where do I need to tape off my paint? Tape off so I can paint. What do I need to measure so I can make sure this other piece works right? So that's the kind of thing you're worrying about when you're working on that chest piece or the back piece or the shield boxes and things like that. And of course, the other thing you have to be willing to do is take a piece that you worked on that you're just not happy with and just throw it out and start over if necessary. And that's what I'm going to end up doing with this Codpiece. So with that, I hope this little bit of advice helps. Again, I showed you some techniques, and hopefully they're useful for you. So I guess that's it. Real quick, I think what I am going to do after I turn off the camera is I'm just going to glue a second sheet of foam onto this one, and that way I'll get a double thick piece, and it'll be a lot stronger, a lot sturdier, a lot stronger. So that's it. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.